Hello everyone and welcome to iTeLearn.com. Thank you so much for joining the live project orientation. So the reason we're trying to gather today here, I'll quickly put it as an agenda so you got a decent idea, is one, understand the brief concept on live projects and understand the advantages of the live projects, what they do, and finally we want to look at uh, how we take this experience to the marketplace, the format of live projects at iTeLearn, the new model. All right, so this is what we're going to cover, team. I think I'll take about 20-25 minutes to briefly go through it and so on. Everyone with the same expectation, that's why you all here, is that right to assume? Then audience, all right, great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for acknowledging. So let's talk about what is this live project all about and how we provide that. The concept, team, is very simple. Is QA, what is software testing, team? Is a role of a significant member for software development lifecycle. Okay, it's a role, team. So that role needs to get filled. And to fill the roles, you need to understand, you need to be a part of such a role to get through jobs. This basically means that you need the job experience. If you do not have the real hands-on experience, it is very easy to get caught in the interview very quickly. It's very easy, but if you still have skill and there's a good interviewer, they may say that, you know what, forget your resume, let's talk about your skill. What do you know? That's great if it happens, but we can't expect the best scenarios every time. So this specific experience that you gain is either you work alone or you work on sample app or you work with very little challenges in the comfort zone. This is what happens to you when we do it this way. The typical difference that I can give as an example is joining a gym and taking a personal trainer. A personal trainer primarily kind of helps you, pushes you to what you are needed. And when you join a live project, you work along with a team. It's always that team. That is the most important. Okay. And you go through all the pain, gain, all the learning as a team. Additionally, each time there are multiple teams. When I say each time, each project. For each project, there are multiple teams. Each team performs the same testing scope and showcases to others. It's almost like a reality TV team, very simple. The fact is there are real projects. What kind of a projects? Web, mobile, ECOM, CRMs, specific workflows, etc. All these projects come to us. How? It comes to us because of atomic77.com. And sorry team if some of this information is repeating. And I'm a partner in this organization, and as part of this, we do digital branding and marketing. So this is where all the web development, web and app development happens. So we get a lot of customers that have upgrades, new versions, first time building a mobile app, things happening, and we need to really follow that. The reason I'm saying this, team, is we right now received a big project. All right, there is a prototype that is required for it, and we started to work on it right now. So for this prototype, there is significant QA required, extremely different things. I'll talk about the application a little bit out here, new model, and the AUT overview, what it does. I'll not go into detail right now. So significant QA is required. That is where we are at the moment, and that's why we've kind of having this session once again. Now, the primary advantages, team, anyone who's not aware of the advantages of the live projects that you would want me to go through, I'll tell you very briefly, team. One is it boosts your confidence significantly. You can check with significantly. Okay. You can check with any of the old participants, and everyone who's gone through at least 70-80% of the project completion have done this. You are faced with real life challenges. So when you go to an interview and when you ask that what kind of challenges did you face in executing this project, you can talk about timelines, you can talk about technology, you can talk about team strength, you can talk about whatever you faced. Not only that, you can also, your skill is your skill plus your team plus other teams. So when you see your own team members presenting updates internally or to us, or when you see them presenting, it's almost like a storytelling team. Like today I'm speaking and you're listening. In live projects, we don't speak at all, very rarely. We listen to you 15, 20, 30 minutes at a stretch, showing you tasks and challenges and how you accomplished. And then we give you a feedback as to what we think, or, we really, there's so many times that we have learned new things out of these live projects. That is amazing. So when you see other team members speaking or you see other teams presenting, so those are also your challenges you've seen, but at the same, this is what you can say in an interview. You can say that, but at the same time, I've seen other colleagues face these challenges too, and this is how we fixed it. Because what they want is, are your hands dirty on coding? Because end of the day, they're looking at Selenium developers team, primarily. They're looking at automation developers, be it Java, Python, C#, whatever be it. But they're looking at someone who understands the whole development process very well. And then you have reference for your resume. You can give a reference of who worked along with your team members, us, say what you've done. Absolutely, go ahead, let's do that. Reference for your resume. And we also have reference project work for your resume. See, I remember about 2008, something like that, when I had to look at HP Quick Test Professional, version 9, I believe at that time. And I wanted to look at, some of these features at that time. And there were so many things built into it. It was pretty confusing for me at that time to look at what it was. What was it trying to say? Hands dirty on coding, Selenium developers. I wrote this reference for your resume, project for work for your resume. Right. And I was talking about project work for your resume, right? There used to be this application that HP QTP used to give. Do you remember anyone what application that was about? HP QTP used to have an inbuilt or a supported application that they used to give for us to test it? Anyone remembers? Have gone through it? No? No one? There was a flight booking, airlines, yeah. There was a flight booking website, something like that. Flight ticketing, flight booking, right, for HP UFT. And it was so lame that, everywhere resumes also start floating saying that I worked on flight booking app. But that everyone, it is there with the manual itself, that app. So what is it specialty that you got? You can't go and say that I worked on Facebook.com. That's an open application. Does it mean that you actually worked for Facebook? No. It's just saying that I played around with it at home. So there's no kind of how do you say it? There's no strength to your argument. You are stuck in convincing the true fact and the genuinity of that project. And this is what we can do with our live projects because of iTeLearn Atomic 2017. Now, experience to the marketplace. What I mean to say is, what next? You're learning, you're participating. How does your career change? Don't deviate from the goal, team. Keep your goal constant. Okay, let other things come and go. Unless it's something brilliant or something really bad that you need to focus on temporarily or rebalance it, do it. But don't deviate from the goal. This I'm saying, and your goal is what? Can anyone tell me, please? What's your goal, team? Why are you all here? What's your one goal, main goal, where you will celebrate that night? What's the main goal? Everyone, is it too late in the night for most of you that you're not active at this time? I'm hardly seeing any responses. Get job in automation testing. Yes. What else? Anyone else? Not many attendees also today, but that's fine. At least looking at the recording. Get job in automation testing or get job in software testing or grow into a better career and so on. So goal is your career. What you want to do with your career and how you can make sure that you stick with it. So I'm coming up with a like a 5-day free placement week. Okay, and this is basically a complete coaching and guidance on job hunt. Okay, this is free for all iTeLearn members, and how it works and so on will keep you posted, team. But since most of you are already part of what we do as members, we should just continue to look at how we can benefit from the current new model of it, team. Okay, so this you'll get the notification as we go along. The format of live projects at iTeLearn and the new model. So I'm going to give a pause for 30 seconds and see if there are any questions from the audience, please. So team, I have a few questions that have come in, but the questions, most of them are all about what is coming next in the few points. So I'll spend another 5-10 minutes talking about the next few points, and then most of the questions could automatically get answered. So how does the live project system work at iTeLearn, team? The first and foremost thing is training. All right. Now, when we talk about training, we have the basic where we start from manual, and then we have advanced, which we can also call as automation. To be clear that these are the two different streams of trainings that we have. Now, once anyone goes through this being a manual or an automation training, then they will work on something called as practice projects. The ones that I show and ask you to work as assignments. And these are for your own home practice. Okay, these are based on what we provide. And then comes the actual live project. When we say live, it is a real client, it is a real requirement, it's at a real phase in that specific thing. And since everything is true about it, and your participation becomes important into it, you tend to gain all these advantages that I've spoken so far, team. Okay. Now, training, practice, live project. Now, live projects are different things, team. It could be something that you start as an intern or as a trainee member, as a trainee. Okay. As we progress, as we keep going, you can convert into one of our full-time employees, or you could work at one of our client positions, or we will help you with the placements. And there are advantages for us in everything that we do, team. Everything. Even if we speak nicely with one of our customers, there's an advantage. They tend to carry those words forward. If we help even one of our customers gain success in the career, that's a big achievement for us. And that those are the kind of small things that really make us team. So we want to ensure that how you progress through it. Some people gain access so quickly that they're already at a client place of placements while they're already in a live project during that time. So this is the standard format of a live project. So now what happens, like I said, it's training, then practice and live project, correct? In the same way, when we say training, it is on specific topic. Either it is QA or mobile app testing, or it could be load runner, or it could be Selenium or ECOM or UFT, etc. Okay, it could be any program. And then for each of the program, we have different live projects. But what we do is it's a manual testing live project or it's a Selenium live project. Same application, different batches, we use manual, mobile app testing, functional testing, automation testing, and so on. Oops, I can't hear. I don't know. Where's that sound coming from? Can you guys hear a ringtone? Sorry about that. I thought I was hearing some sound. Now I'm good. So this stages, some people cross it very quickly. Some people want to take time. So in terms of what is the timeline for a project, these are ongoing applications team. Their ongoing testing is required. The new requirements keep coming. Regression testing is required. So these are ongoing projects. You can work on these projects as long as you get into a job. You don't have to stop working on any of these projects. So typically what we do is there's only QA or MAT or load runner or Selenium, ECOM, UFT and so on for live projects. And like we typically, the team size for us is about 5 to 10 members per team. Sometimes we start with 10, then it reduces. Usually total teams are somewhere between 3 to 6 teams, depending on the number of people in that project per live project. Okay, and topic is only one area, and that's a part of this. All right. So what that means is we've always been doing this. It's the first time even we've kind of came up with a new model. Hey, why don't we do one team per each technology or area? All right. What does that mean? We'll form one QA team, one MAT team, one load runner team, and so on. All teams will have the same testing scope. Okay. So they will have the same things to do, and only using most of their chosen tools. So for example, what? One team is a QA team. They will only use manual tools. They may use Jira. They may use, when they say they will choose to use. Maybe, I don't know if Trello is something they use, or HPAL, for example. Okay. Then there's, let's say, a Selenium MAT team. Okay. Mobile app testing team. And they may say they want to use Android, the For Android and iOS, they want to use manual testing, and they will also do manual and automation testing. This is what they need to be creating. With I don't think there's anything in load runner that we will use right now. I don't know if we had a recent batch, so I'll leave that. Selenium could be one, UFT could be one, and they're all, each of them are creating their own things. Anyot could be another one. So the whole point is, once we know about this application, what is the scope, what are the project uh, phases, and how we go about um, the timeline, main things. Let's start with the requirement, functional specifications, in the sense in depth of the requirements and so on, scope, project phases, timeline, and so on, right? So there's a lot we have to do, team, and even before requirement, it's like more like a brainstorming that is currently going on. These are the more like the project phases for the application and a test. Now, each time we have the opportunity to look at what we have in our development pipeline and kind of suggest that let's use this. Most of the time we look at something, not brainstorming, it's just an overview we can talk about. Most of the times we start testing or looking at testing once development starts. Okay, I'm assuming all of you are well aware in terms of what we say is SDLC, right? How the entire thing flows. You start with your requirement. Oops. Come on, what's wrong? Something is not right. Sorry. Too many issues today. Okay, there you go. So we start with our requirements, and then we do our documentation and our design, and then we start our coding, then we do the testing, and then we do the deployment. Okay, this is a typical SDLC that we look at, and most of the times our testing activities start somewhere around here. Okay, testing starts out here because the more focus is developing this, and each phase, each version, this is what we try and do. Now this particular application that we're talking about, and let's call that for now as JD, please. That's the name of the application, is at the very beginning initial requirements phase. What does that mean? There is an activity to make requirements and act like a business analyst and gain that experience too. Phenomenal thing to add to a software tester's resume team. You can also look at starting early in your entire test suite. While the design and coding is starting, you start to build your test management overall, or automation cases and so on. And your testing run cycle will get shortened. It'll get totally shortened because of the fact that everything is ready for you to execute now, be it manual or automation. Everything will be much more clear. So you are at the ground floor, team, for this entire application. So very quick brief about the application, team, and what we do. But project phases for the application and test is this. AUT name. Okay, application and test name in this case is, let's call it as JD. This is basically a concept called just done. Okay, what they do as an overview, project phases. Okay. I think I can write it here now. Okay, let's talk about project, not project phases. Already there. Okay, implementation of this page overview. Okay, this is important. Okay, so this is the application name, everyone, and at an overview, what is it? It is a simple task and resource manager. That is what this application is all about. Okay, and it needs to be deployed more on how do I say this, technology or usage is looking for mobile app, iOS and Android, and mobile app and web app. These both are needed team. Now technologies can be varying. iOS technology will vary, Android technology will vary, web app technology is different. So it is different, but the user experience must be um how do we say that? Unanimous? No. Um, must be seamless between platforms. So that becomes very critical. Most part of this application has got user um, you know touch operations like drag, drop, and so on. While this is there, I still believe it can be easily, I mean, we can try automation pretty easily. We'll check it as we go along. What can we automate, what can't we automate, and so on. Okay. Now, touch operations, drag, drop, and so on. So there's a lot of things that are there as part of what they're looking at. Now, for the detailed requirements, we are currently working on it. Okay. And we had a couple of calls this week already. Sunday night my time and yesterday night. Oh no, over the weekend, yeah, we had some. So, and we were like kind of putting everything together in terms of how the application should look, how we're gonna execute this as a mobile app, web app, and so on. So we did a pre-kickoff meeting yesterday. We're gonna do some more updates today, and I'm off for about 5-6 days in between. And while I'm gone, there are a few things that we will definitely guide you to watch about the application itself. So we're working on it. When I say we, it is the Verkasa and Atomic 77 team. Okay. Now, what's next? Functional specification. So all this we need to work on team. Scope is very simple. They're looking at first prototype. Okay. And for this first prototype, they want about 15 to 25 screens for mobile app and web app, which is almost the same thing both places. And it's got basic features to be finalized as to what will be the finalized features and so on. And let me show you what the team has made recently. Team, give me 1 second and I'm going to. So team, here are quick kind of wireframes or UX, or not UX, more of user interface diagrams on based on what requirement the client gave, was created by our designers. And it's a very simple looking at it. Most of these functionalities will be applicable. There's a list of things that we have kind of visualized and put together as a development team, but the client will have to confirm the final things. So there's a launch screen where a user can register for the first time, and then verification. There's a profile, the regular login page, everything will be there. So each of this is like a screen. Home page, then there's a list of tasks that are pending for that individual, and screens to add or maintain tasks, screens to assign tasks to contacts or invite them. There's a side menu, notifications, and so on. If you are someone who's been using Trello, it is very similar, or it is very similar to what you write it in your sticky notes or in your post-its or your to-do list. Just a little bit more advanced features into it. All right. Now, with this kind of a layout that you see right now, it's all mobile app friendly, and we need to look at similar thing for the web app as well. This what you're seeing is about a week old team, about 5 6 days old. There's a latest one which has got a little bit more, and we've discussed a few things yesterday, and there's daily progress. So primarily, where are we? We are the ground floor, like I said, team, and this is a great opportunity to start preparing while the application prototype is being built. You can start preparing, from the understanding the requirements and so on. You can also participate to be a business analyst who does requirement documentation. So team, at this point, let me go back to this document so we don't miss any ones that features to be finalized. So that scope of first prototype, come on, features to be finalized, both this, yes, project phases. So the first launch, there's nothing team, not disclosed, just the prototype. That's what it is right now. Timeline is this way, team. We're looking to launch it in the launch pre-Christmas. So we're looking at third week of December. Okay. Now, if it's launched, that means right from requirements to testing has to be done for UAT and all that by second week of December. Okay, some kind of a UAT we have to do, and ensure nothing else is fixed, or at least first week. So I'm just putting some kind of timeline backwards, team. It'll hardly take a minute for me to do this, and then you'll need at least 2 to 3 weeks of solid testing. So 3 weeks, we're talking about QA is taking it to third week of November. Then dev itself will take about 4 weeks, 3 weeks. So that will take to today. So development, if it starts today, then there is a good possibility, team. That's what I'm looking at. That's the schedule we want to launch in third week of December. That's definitely mandate based on the scope. The development team is ready. We have luckily finished a few recent projects just 3 4 days back. That gives us some ability to be able to do things quicker. But don't worry on that we'll look into it. But what I mean to say is this new model will help you to compare everything side by side, team. Compare projects side by side. You can be part of up to 2 teams, not more. So you choose which one. AA, as all of you know, is an eniot.com team, right? So if each of us are gonna go and do testing in different ones based on your comfort level, okay, you want to be able to participate actively and put both of them. That I've been working on these 2 aspects. Let's say you chose to do mobile app testing and UFT. The roles range from BA, QA, automation, developers. Okay, so you don't have to worry about which role. Okay, so don't worry on which role to take. Okay, start with what is convenient. and then slowly keep adding to it. What I mean to say is, let's say you're a little worried about automation, don't feel very comfortable, don't push yourself. Take BA role, take a manual testing role, take any auto role. You don't need or any automation skills for any auto. But then you take what is comfortable and slowly build on it. So with this new model, what will happen is you can also do a great product comparison. So especially when you go for interviews and you say that how and why we need to uh, how we choose the right tool slash approach. So the science behind that becomes very important. In the sense, let's say manual testing has started doing a great job. Okay, they've started off. NEOT is running slow. Selenium is running even slow. And then we've realized that some parts cannot be automated. Selenium is stuck, NEOT is stuck. But then manual testing is kept going. Suddenly you'll realize that uh, manual testing is going at the same pace, but automation testing execution is becoming faster now. And somewhere there'll be some kind of competition where we see where we are in the project timeline. So it is more of a 2 months project, but we can look at it. So it's 2 months project team. That's what we're looking at. I would say minimum 1.5 to 2 months. From my perspective, the more the better, but we'll try and accomplish it the sooner as much as we can. So primarily what we're saying, it's actually 1.5 month project, not even more than that. Because you're done by first week of December. So exactly in a month's time, it is ready for UAT. So most of your testing activities are done by then. All right. Okay. What else is there? So in as part of the new model, there are a lot of advantages, team, but I think you should try it. Most of your members, correct? So you should be able to try and see which one suits you. We'll start slow in the sense, while we're also doing the requirements. Let's get aligned. Let's start creating project teams and kick off from there. Let's see. There are a few questions that I'm taking. If there are more questions, start putting it in, please. So Jacqueline, I've answered your question. Preet, I've answered your question. What's an automation? Like which tool? Any tool. It depends on the project. What we're saying is, depending on the project and what skill you have, you should tell. It is a project given to you. So when you execute the project, you should tell us, please. Okay. If I want to do ETL, can you give training and live project in ETL? Sure. I think we've done training in ETL and live projects as well. You should contact our team, write to learn@iTeLearn.com. They'll take care. Practice projects are group projects or individual projects? Practice projects are individual projects. Good question. So the ones which you see here, which I wrote down, these are individual projects / assignments. What is A? A is NEOT. What automation tool will help use for mobile app? Oh, you have a lot of them. You have APM, you have Expeditors, new ones. They've done some good ones. There is some amazing stuff for mobile app testing that HP UFT, the latest version, is doing, and HP Lean UFT as well, Lean FT. So that's to answer your question, Padmaja. I have an issue related to class. Today, this is third class back to back. All classes are very important. It's very difficult to attend 3 hours. I don't know how I will manage. It will continue. If it will continue daily. I'm not going to take your mail, but I really sympathize with you. 3 hours, 3.5 hours back to back is impossible for learning. I mean, serious learning. And Preeta, I don't. Sorry, I won't take the name. I don't know why you're taking all of them right now. You should balance it. I would say one or maximum two courses at the same time or 2 sessions. 3 is an overkill. So not right. Give me a call maybe when I'm on vacation from day after. Maybe tomorrow if you can give me a call, catch up. I had so many calls today. I couldn't return most of the calls back. If any one of you called, I'm sorry about that. I'll call you tomorrow. Team. Hi Karthik, can we be part of the requirements kickoff? Yes. So we had a pre-kickoff meeting yesterday um, at 10:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is from 2 hours from now. That was kind of setting up the overall structure. Now we'll have a project kickoff meeting with basically decided people, team, who's going to lead everything um, early next week. By then, we'll kind of establish and we'll start working on some requirements too. So, irrespective of the kickoff meeting, we'll start adding it into Trello as requirements and we'll go from there. All right. What else? Any other questions, team? So, new model, more than me explaining in terms of what are the advantages having different approaches of manual automation, different tools to the same project, will become more and more clear, team, once you participate in it. It'll take you about a couple of weeks. By then, it'll everything will set in very solid. Looks like no other questions, team. So let me see you in the schedule, on the schedule, and how we take this and really work on it, team. So more about the application we'll discuss once as soon as we're back. That's when we'll go through the requirements at length. We'll have a lot of members also from my India team participate in this project team. There are already about 14, 15 people that we are assigning to this project uh, right away. We've started this kind of since yesterday, team. Hi, I live in Northridge. Is there any office with your Northridge address? Yes, there is an office there, but my CPS sits most of the time. I live in Woodland Hills, so maybe you can reach out to the team and call me. We can discuss team. All right, everyone. That's it then. Great. Thank you so much. This is more like setting your expectations on what to expect in a new model, and we're starting soon. And I don't want anyone to wait. I will see if I can coordinate with my team and get some things going. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye now. Bye all.